Back to reality, my friends. This is what we're used to. And I'm smiling, but it's only because I don't want to cry.
Like I said, I mean, I was dealing with it, Drake was dealing with it, and it is what it is. So you can't really make an excuse for it.
The Denver Broncos lost this game because Mother Nature actually turned on the home team. It actually turned into home field disadvantage because I don't think Sean Payton saw a blizzard coming.
I don't think the weather can be used as an excuse here. The reason the Broncos lost this game today is because Sean Payton lost this game. Got greedy early in the game, decided to go for it on 4th and 1 instead of taking the points when it was perfect conditions, and then 2 missed field goals by Will Lutz, and that's the story of it. The margin for error in these games are so small. You cannot afford to miss field goals. You cannot afford to not get first downs, and you cannot afford to call 8 screen passes that just don't get.
It was a hard-fought game, and we didn't do enough to win it.
The Denver Broncos just watched their Super Bowl dreams die in a blizzard. And now, the internet can't stop talking about what backup quarterback Jarrett Stidham said after the most heartbreaking loss of the season.
It is what it is. So you can't really make an excuse for it.
10-7. That's how the AFC Championship game ended. The New England Patriots are heading to their 12th Super Bowl appearance, and the Broncos are left wondering what could have been. But it's not just the loss that has NFL fans going absolutely nuclear on social media. It's what happened in the post-game press conference that's got everyone fired up. Jarrett Stidham stepped up to the microphone, still in his game uniform, probably still feeling the sting of that brutal defeat, and he said something that immediately went viral. When asked about the brutal second-half conditions that turned Mile High Stadium into a literal snow globe, Stidham didn't make excuses. He didn't point fingers. He didn't blame Mother Nature.
I mean, anytime there's conditions, there's, certainly. But like I said, I mean, I was dealing with it, Drake was dealing with it, and it is what it is. So you can't really make an excuse for it.
Now, on the surface, that sounds like the perfect professional response from a backup quarterback who just lost the biggest game of his life, right? Wrong. Because what Stidham didn't say is what's driving NFL Twitter absolutely insane right now. He didn't say a single word about Sean Payton's decision-making. He didn't mention the controversial 4th down call that could have given Denver a 10-0 lead. He didn't talk about the play calling that felt more conservative than a retirement fund in the second half. And that silence? That's what has everyone talking.
I don't think the weather can be used as an excuse here. The reason the Broncos lost this game today is because Sean Payton lost this game. Got greedy early in the game, decided to go for it on 4th and 1 instead of taking the points when it was perfect conditions, and then 2 missed field goals by Will Lutz, and that's the story of it. The margin for error in these games are so small.
Let's rewind for a second and talk about what actually happened in this game, because the context makes Stidham's comments even more interesting. The Broncos dominated the first half. They were up 7-0. They had momentum. Their defense was absolutely suffocating Drake May and the Patriots' offense. Everything was going according to plan. And then came the moment that will haunt Sean Payton's nightmares for years to come. 4th and 1. Denver's on the 14-yard line. They're up 7-0 with 9 minutes left in the second quarter. The smart move, the obvious move, kick the field goal, go up 10-0, put the pressure on New England. But Sean Payton decided to get aggressive.
It just felt like, man, we had momentum to get up 14. It felt like we had a good call.
They went for it. Stidham's pass fell incomplete. No points. And just like that, the entire complexion of the game changed. Because when that blizzard rolled in during the second half, and I'm talking whiteout, can't see 5 feet in front of you conditions, those 3 points would have been the difference between heading to the Super Bowl and booking tee times. The Broncos analysts couldn't hold back their frustration. One commentator put it bluntly, calling out the head coach in a way that probably made Sean Payton's ears burn wherever he was watching the tape.
And in that play in the first half, it's a 4th and long 1 situation. You have your backup quarterback in the game started in Jarrett Stidham. Your offense running the football has been horrible, to say the least. And if you're going to go for it there, Pat P, you got to have a great call. Yeah. You got to have a call that you believe.
The offensive struggles in the second half were absolutely brutal to watch. Denver went 3 and out, then 3 and out again. And again, and again. The offense that had looked so promising in the first half completely disappeared once the snow started falling. They finished 4 for 14 on third down. 4 for 14. That's inexcusable in a championship game, whether or not. But here's where it gets really interesting. While Stidham was giving his politically correct post-game comments, the rest of the NFL world wasn't holding back. Analysts were destroying Sean Payton's decision-making. Former players were questioning the conservative play calling in the second half. Fans were pointing out that with Bo Nix healthy, this game probably doesn't even go to the fourth quarter. And Stidham, he just kept it professional. Almost too professional. When reporters asked him about Bo Nix, what his starting quarterback said to him after the game, Stidham deflected with the grace of a seasoned politician.
He did. Yeah, we talked in the locker room, as soon as I came in, and had a good little combo. I'll keep that private, but he was supportive all week, and I mean, he's an incredible human, incredible teammate, and very lucky to have him here.
I'll keep that private. That's the line that has everyone speculating. What did Bo Nix actually say? Was it supportive? Was it frustrated? Did Nix watch his backup quarterback struggle in the second half and wonder what could have been if he had been out there making plays with his legs the way Drake May did for the Patriots? Because that's the other part of this story that makes Stidham's comments so fascinating. Drake May wasn't good through the air. He threw for a measly 86 yards, but he rushed for 65 yards on 10 carries, and those were the plays that mattered. Every time the Patriots needed a crucial conversion, May used his legs. He extended drives. He made something out of nothing. He did exactly what Bo Nix has been doing for Denver all season long. The contrast couldn't be more stark. Stidham is a pocket passer. He's not going to beat you with his legs. And in a game where throwing the ball became nearly impossible in the second half, that mobility, or lack thereof, became the difference. Multiple analysts pointed out that if Bo Nix had been healthy, his ability to improvise and create with his legs could have completely changed the game. But Stidham didn't mention any of that. He didn't say, "We missed Bo's mobility." He didn't say, "It's hard to win when your starting quarterback is watching from a box." He just said everyone dealt with the same conditions and left it at that. And that's what has NFL fans divided right now. The analytics community is having an absolute field day with this game, because here's the thing about that fourth down decision. The analytics actually supported going for it in the moment. 4th and 1 from the 14-yard line, up 7 points. Most models would say go for it, try to step on their throat, try to make it 14-0. But analytics don't account for blizzards. They don't account for your starting quarterback being injured. They don't account for playing with a backup who hasn't started a game in 2 years. And they sure as hell don't account for Mother Nature deciding to turn the second half into a survival contest, where field position and special teams become everything. Sean Payton himself seemed to recognize the weight of that decision in his own post-game comments.
There's always regrets, look, I felt like, here we are, 4th and 1. We felt close enough that, and it's also a call you make based on the team you're playing and what you're watching on the other side of the ball. So yeah, there'll always be second thoughts.
There'll always be second thoughts. That's coach speak for, I probably should have kicked the field goal. But at least Payton owned it. At least he acknowledged the decision might haunt him. Stidham didn't even go that far. The Patriots, meanwhile, are celebrating their 12th Super Bowl appearance in franchise history. Mike Vrabel, in his first year as head coach, has already matched what took some coaches' entire careers to accomplish. The turnaround is absolutely staggering. This is a team that won 8 games combined over the previous 2 seasons. 8 games! And now they're 1 win away from a championship. Drake May becomes the second youngest quarterback to start a Super Bowl, and the comparisons to Tom Brady's second-year Super Bowl run are already flying. The Patriots dynasty might be getting a reboot, and it's happening in the exact same way it started 2 decades ago, with a young quarterback winning in terrible weather conditions in the playoffs. The irony isn't lost on anyone.
I think for the Denver Broncos, just utilizing the athleticism that Jarrett Stidham had, because that was the deciding factor for the Patriots in winning this ball game. Because when you look at the game and look at the box score, Drake May didn't blow you away with his passing arsenal. But what he did was he became a difference maker in the running game.
What makes this whole situation even more complex is the reality of what the Broncos were dealing with. They didn't just lose their starting quarterback, they lost their starting running back too. J.K. Dobbins was out. The offense was already compromised before the snow even started falling. And yet, they still had chances to win this game. Multiple chances. Will Lutz missed a field goal wide right. Then he had another one blocked. Those aren't on Stidham. Those aren't even really on Payton. Sometimes the football gods just aren't on your side. Sometimes the margins are so thin that one blocked kick, one missed opportunity, one fourth down gamble that doesn't pay off, any of those things can send you home instead of to the Super Bowl. But that's what makes championship football so brutal. The margin for error is microscopic. And when you're playing with a backup quarterback against a team that's been to the Super Bowl more than any franchise in history, you can't afford to give away points. You can't afford to get cute. You have to take every opportunity you can get. The Broncos didn't do that. They gambled and lost. And now Jarrett Stidham is the face of that loss, whether that's fair or not. Did Stidham think Payton made a mistake? Almost certainly. Does he think having Bo Nix would have changed the outcome? Probably. Is he frustrated that the offense couldn't move the ball in the second half? Of course he is. But he's not going to say any of that publicly because he's a professional, and professionals don't throw their coaches or teammates under the bus after a loss. The question is, should they? In an era where authenticity is currency, where fans reward honesty and punish what they perceive as phoniness, maybe the old school take the high road approach isn't the move anymore. Maybe fans actually want to hear quarterbacks say, yeah, we should have kicked the field goal, or we missed Bo's playmaking ability, or the play calling got too conservative. But that's not the NFL culture. That's not how players are taught to handle these moments. And Stidham, despite not having started a game in 2 years, knows exactly how this works. The Broncos season is over. Their Super Bowl dreams are dead. And instead of celebrating an incredible turnaround year, going from also-rans to contenders, everyone's talking about the opportunities they missed and the decisions they regret. The Patriots are moving on. Mike Vrabel is one win away from cementing himself as a coaching legend. Drake May is about to become a superstar. And the Broncos? They're left wondering what could have been if they'd just taken the 3 points when they had the chance.